Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Language Academy. Today, we are going to be briefly discussing on how to teach your child English. This is a question I get a lot because this is an area that I have done a lot of study in, and I've achieved a few certificates in this area. I've also had the pleasure of working with children for close to 8-9 years teaching English. So, I have some tips for you parents, questions that I get a lot of. So, let's dive right in. So let's think about this, right? How do children learn languages? That's very important. Children learn language naturally, right? Through interaction. So we need to think about how did they learn their first language? When babies are born, they're essentially a little sponge. They absorb so much information. They're always watching, they're always listening. So language is very interesting for them because they are listening to the different sounds that you are producing. Once they get a bit older and their eyesight develops, they watch your mouth to see how you pronounce things and say things. So the key to learning a second language, especially for young children, we're talking 0 to about 4 or 5 years old, the best thing you can do is to teach them as if it was their first language. So that's very helpful for them. Also, in my experience, at least one parent should know the language to be able to teach their children, because you have to be the one who speaks this language and you have to show them how to use this language with other people. That's how they learn their first language, by understanding that you need to be able to speak this language not just with them but maybe with another person in your house. I have a friend who she did not directly teach her child English, but rather she and her husband were just conversing in English a lot, frequently, all the time. And her daughter just started to naturally pick it up. And so she's able to speak English naturally that way. She didn't have to be taught anything. She was just constantly listening, and it was very interesting for her. So another way to get kids interested in another language is to play, read, draw, make it interesting. Everything is a toy. If you don't have English books, that's okay. Just grab whatever books you have and use the pictures. If they're about 0 to 3, 4 years old, they can't read in their native language anyway, so the words are meaningless to them. But you can use the pictures and the descriptions that are there. Even if you know how to translate it, you can go ahead and translate what's already written there so that they can see it in not just one but 2 languages as well. And they learn to associate that, this picture in this language means that, and this picture means this in English. So they have 2 things that they're connected with that way. And just make it fun and interesting. Don't put pressure on it, because there are some children who don't respond well to that, and they will not speak the new language at any cost, and that can be frustrating for a lot of parents. So just go at it with a fun, joyful attitude. Here are 2 websites I highly recommend. The first one is supersimple.com. Why? Because this website has so many great free resources, not just for parents, but for children as well. They have free downloadable worksheets. They have songs to go with the worksheets and little plush toys, and they just have so many things that are great. And they also have a couple of other tips on how to teach your child English as well. So I highly recommend them. I've used them in kindergartens and with my private students, and all of them just love these worksheets. So I know that they work. My last website I want to recommend is Childhood 101. This website is all in English, and it gives you helpful ideas of playing and interacting with your child. So you can use the language that you find there on this site with your child, and use that in English and engage them in active play and active learning. So these are my 2 that I really recommend for parents. So the last piece of advice I'm going to give to you parents out there is don't get discouraged. Keep it fun and don't put pressure on it. Yeah, children will take their time learning things, just like they learned their first language. Maybe it took them a year, or it took them to maybe 2 years to be able to speak, or maybe they're not speaking even at 3 years of age. It's my child. So just keep it fun and don't put pressure on it, because the more you force it and push it, the more the children are going to push back themselves. And just remember that every child is different. So they might respond differently to a different way of learning. So you just have to try a lot of things. It's a lot of trial and error. So cartoons are fantastic as well, in your native language and in your new language. And if you can find the same cartoon in both languages, wow, that's going to be amazing for them because they have this connection already with the first language. So we're going to talk about bilingualism in another video, and if you feel like I have missed anything or you still have questions, drop me them in the comments and I will absolutely get back to them for you. So, alright, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you stay informed about all our amazing new videos coming out. See you next time. Bye!